we've covered the content and the method of classical Christian education. Then, like, what's the goal? What's the objective?
Yeah, this is another thing that really distinguishes classical Christian education is a very specific objective, and that is the pursuit of virtue. Or another way to say it, and I think we have this in some of our founding documents at our school, is orienting the student to God and the world he has created. In other words, knowing God and everything he has made and our place in it. Is another way of saying the pursuit of virtue.
Virtue.
And that's distinct from what we see in the modern school, because in the modern school, the objective is to train you in a skill that you can sell in the marketplace.
Hmm.
And that's the end. That's the goal.
Training us for work.
Training you for work. Yes, it's vocational.
Right.
Classical Christian education is not vocational. I will say that a student who graduates from a classical Christian school will have far more marketable skills than someone who did not graduate from that kind of school.
And be able to communicate them
And
at
he
the
will be
same
able to
time.
communicate.
Mhm.
He'll understand the things around him. He'll understand his duties to his neighbor and his family and his coworkers. So he'll be a much more well-rounded person. But having those marketable skills is not the goal. The goal is actually to be a better person. That's the objective.
Yeah, I'm often fond of saying you can teach people a skill in the marketplace. You can't teach them character.
Right.
And I often look for character foremost because everything else I can add later.
Yeah.
Seems like classical Christian education might be a way to make sure that that virtue and that character is firmly in place before sending them into the job market.
Yeah. So just a little bit about the pursuit of virtue. Most people don't even really know what virtue is anymore.
Mm.
And if you went to a modern school and asked them what virtue is, I don't know what they would tell you.
It's something I've read about in Greek mythology.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Greeks developed what are called the four cardinal virtues.
Okay.
And so the Greeks and the Romans, they came up with these, or I won't say they came up with them. They identified them. They existed. These are things that exist objectively, and they were recognized by the Greeks and the Romans. And the four cardinal virtues are prudence, which has to do with wisdom and decision-making, temperance, which has to do with having control over your passions. So self-control often is how we characterize that. The fourth one is fortitude. So this would be like perseverance, the willingness to make the right decision and take the right action, even if there are negative consequences that are going to come your way. And the fourth one is justice. This is the idea of treating the people around you fairly in accordance with what they deserve, recognizing that they're created in God's image and they have certain rights that are bestowed upon them directly by God, and treating them in accordance with those rights, justice. And those are cardinal virtues because everything else flows from those. Every other virtue there is emanates from those four virtues. And the church came along with the Greeks and the Romans, and I would say enhanced this concept of virtue. And they added what are called the three Christian virtues: faith, hope, and love.
Yeah. Not that any of the previous four
Right.
are unchristian.
Right. Precisely. They're all Christian virtues. And so actually the three, faith, hope, and love, are what they call the three theological virtues. Faith, hope, and love. And combined together, you get the seven Christian virtues.
Sounds kind of beautiful.
It's very beautiful.